All right, team, let's go ahead and give this a second shot. So as of right now, you guys is definitely a little bit on the oversold side. I'm going to go ahead and go in. I'm going to go in a little bit light. I'm going to go into a 200 shares first, just to get some skin in the game. And then I can slowly begin to add more to our position. So I'm going to go in at an average purchase price of $27.20. That's a little bit over $5,000. We'll go at 28. Here we go. Doesn't look like it's getting filled. Again, this is just to get some skin in the game. So this is at 27.33. Got filled. There we go. Nice little push up. MACD, again, beginning to show signs of an uptrend. One of the things that you pointed out, right, is that the RSI was a little bit more on the oversold side. So it shows signs of it being oversold. So because it's sold off so much, even if it ends up making its way back down, so right now it is downtrending, even if it makes its way back down to like, the middle of the up and stuff like that, that's about a 1.5% return based on like my entry point, stuff like that, which isn't too bad. If it makes its way all the way back up to, previous highs, which is around like 28.25, then that's definitely going to be a much that's about almost 3 to 4%. So that's going to be a much better margin. Here we go. And again, I originally just went in to get some skin in the game. Once it breaks above the EMA line, then that's when I'll add a heavier position to, or add a heavier position, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the EMA rule multiple times. For me to get in before the EMA line, there's a form of risk, right? We've talked about that multiple times. And if you've watched me trade live before, it's something that I have talked about. So it's a risk that I'm taking by. That's why my position size was 200 shares and not like 300 to 400 shares when it's below the EMA line. It's an approach that I'm taking right now. That's definitely a little bit more aggressive. It's not something that you have to take. So I wouldn't still suggest a much more conservative approach is to wait for the EMA line. There we go. What's up? What's up? Do you have a formula to manage risk? I'm not too sure if you've Brian, if you've completed the Learn Plan Profit course. That's definitely something when it comes down to risk management that we've covered. Let's see. So you can buy as many shares, like averaging up, right? So to answer your question, Spencer, you can buy, and that all counts as like, that's not a day trade, right? Because you're just buying. But you just have to make sure that when you sell in one order. So if you sell it all at once, it's still just considered one day trade. If you want a better explanation, feel free to call your brokerage. But yeah. They're like, who are the guys in the back? If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Sam.
I'm Riles.
Yeah, so they're visiting from San Diego. I've known Sam since like elementary school, and you guys are both part of Learn Plan Profit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, they're just visiting for the week, and we're just gonna go over a couple of the basics when it comes down to like getting started and stuff like that. So yeah, we're excited. You guys have been in Arizona before, right?
We've been here before.
Yeah.
Been to like Havasu and been to Tempe too.
Nice.
I'm just talking about those Pop-Tarts, huh?
Right? Everyone keeps talking about Pop-Tarts. What's going on, Hunter? What's up? I wouldn't like solely rely on the MACD. The MACD can be like very effective, but there's multiple times where the MACD, especially when there's a lot of like demand, and then you're gonna see like there's gonna be like a MACD divergence where this thing is showing signs of a like reversal, but let's say the downward pattern is so aggressive that then it continues to downtrend right away. So it never actually completes like the full cycle of going from, red to green back to red. It literally just goes red, maybe one bar green, or maybe not any green. It goes maybe from like red to back to red, and it continues to downtrend. So we might actually see it right now. So we'll have to wait out on it. All right, here we go. So we did break above the EMA line, but again, just as you guys saw, it pulled back. So one of the things that I like to wait for are higher highs. So before I add more to my position size, I just want to make sure that whatever it is, keeping it super simple, right? I just want to make sure whatever it is that I'm investing in, it's showing signs of an uptrend, that it's making me money already. And that's definitely not the case as of right now. So it pushed up this general area of the EMA line, and just like we saw here, it looks like it might be getting rejected. So we have to give it a little bit more time to see if it's something that I want to continue to invest in, or if I want to cut losses in. All right, it's just a waiting game as of now. And again, I do apologize for the inconvenience of having to like close out the live stream and bring it back up. I hope that the stream quality is better as of right now. What's going on, Kevin? So UWT. Let's check it out. So a lot of consolidation. Still, not really actively trending up. As of right now, it looks like it's sold off a couple days ago down to the SMA line. It's trying to recover right now. Looking at the MACD, looking at the RSI. Yeah, it's just not something that I would be like too crazy about because the direction isn't completely clear. So I would set a couple of alerts here. So if you're struggling to identify its direction, then again, it might not be the best time to take the position. There it goes, downtrending. So I like that. So today might be the no trading day for me. As long as you're able to identify that, if nothing is playing out in your favor, then I'm happy to hear that, you're able to like stay disciplined enough to just not even take a position. Eugene, thank you. Appreciate that. 100%. So I like that, Blake. Wouldn't it be a smart idea to only treat UGAS as a day trade and still actively, because it's still actively trending down on the 180-day 4-hour chart? 100%. So if something is showing signs of a continuous downtrend pattern, but it shows intraday opportunity, meaning within the day, then great, you can take advantage of it as a day trade if you see value in it, but there's no reason to hold something or to hope that it reverses or that you're buying at the very bottom when there's no indication, especially on the larger charts. If it's still showing signs of continuous downtrend pattern and there's no indication of it breaking that, then it probably is going to continue to downtrend. So I think you hit it right on the head, right, with that. No, I don't plan on shorting stocks. I like that, Connor. So I feel like the days that I trade less and wait for good trades, I have much better green days. I like that. That's good. That's what it's all about. Do you usually have a stop loss? No, I usually cut losses when there's a breakup pattern. But again, it's a little bit different. I'm a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier for me, in my opinion, to cut losses when there's a breakup pattern. If you're someone that struggles with that and maybe you're not disciplined enough or you're just still getting started and getting your feet wet with that, then a stop loss is definitely not a bad idea. I still use stop losses from time to time, especially if I'm not actively watching the screen. But I have, my hotkeys here so I could be quick to cut losses. So wait for 2 bars above the EMA line and then buy on the pullback. Not necessarily. I mean, that's a very generic like setup. The easiest way for me to put it is, again, I like to invest in patterns that are showing signs of a continuous uptrend. That could be 1 candles, that could be 2. It's until you feel comfortable. And this is where you're gonna have to develop your own like eye for value, because as something was like, we can look at natural gas here, and when it was selling off, right, it pushed above the EMA line here multiple times, but then got rejected and sold off again, and then it pushed above the EMA line here multiple times, but then really started to show signs of a continuous uptrend pattern. So there's no like exact formula or anything like that you have to follow to know when to enter. It's whenever it is that you feel comfortable. So if you think that there's enough patterns indicating signs of an uptrend, then I would wait on that, right? Not just 1 candle or 3 candles or 2 candles on a pullback. It's when you see signs of a continuous uptrend. That's when it would make the most sense to me. What's going on, Junie? What's up? Ricky, do you watch /ND simultaneously with DGAS and UGAS? Yeah, my second monitor always has the future that I'm trading. Of depending if I'm trading like natural gas, then it has the natural gas future. Here we go. So as of right now, DGAS again is still showing signs of an uptrend. So just have to wait out on this. If this thing continues to rally, then again, the great thing about that is that I'll just have to cut losses very quickly on UGAS, as that is downtrending as of right now. And then we could focus and pay attention to DGAS and keeping it that simple. I didn't think that, just based off previous patterns. So check this out. The MACD is almost in favor of DGAS. Here it goes. Okay, so natural gas broke above. Again, it's still consolidating, but it's trying to sell off. Don't know if it's going to. The MACD is still kind of like almost in that reversal area where it could begin to try to push up. So again, just be careful. Don't be so quick to identify or call out a reversal and stuff like that. So, but on UGAS right now, we're pushing above. I like that. So I would like to break above 2750. And if we could break above that, then maybe I'll add more to my position size then. But the MACD is a little bit overextended, so I have to wait out on that. Yikes, it's still lagging. I do apologize. Okay, so it's only lagging for certain people. Sorry about that. All right. Hey, what's going on? Is it Nadia? Hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. Yeah, team, I do apologize if it is lagging on your side. There's like, I restarted my, because it sounds like some people are lagging, other people aren't. There has been an issue with YouTube and the way that they stream. So I do apologize for that. Based on some feedback that I received, YouTube has been like lagging with their streams a little bit more. So EAT is above 44. Let's see. Okay. Do you guys remember this one? So really nice horizontal pattern. Went through its earnings already, right? Consolidating right now. I'm going to set another alert. MACD looks very, almost fully completed. So it looks like it can downtrend again. So I'd be a little iffy about that one. But no question that based off previous patterns, it can. Look at the last time that it was here, right? Sold off, and then reversed here, and then really pushed up. I would say that this margin is like where it most commonly covers from 44 to 48, which is about 10%. So a little bit less than 10%, but yeah, nice little setup there. Here we go, you guys back at this general area. So what I'm gonna do here is, I don't know if I should just give it a little bit more time or should just like sell at the price point that it's at right now. I would obviously be selling, again, I'm not looking at my P&L for the day, but I would obviously be selling for a little bit of a profit, but I only have 200 shares, and I think I bought at like 30. I don't know if you guys remember when I bought, I'm not too sure. I think I bought at 30. Damn, am I correct? Let's see. So the reason that I would consider selling right now is because natural gas hasn't truly identified its direction. It's consolidating a lot, and the MACD is showing signs that it can continue to downtrend, and I don't want to take part of that. So yeah, I'm just going to play it safe. Again, I know it's like, it might be way too early, but yeah, if it breaks this 29, then let's see. We could see that as somewhat of a support here. So if it breaks below this, I'm just going to sell, as that would make sense. And again, it's because the MACD reversal already, it's already showing signs of a potential, downtrend, and it's indicating that there's a reason that I probably should sell, because it's still downtrending. Yeah, so I'm just going to get out here. So I got out at 27,295. Again, I'm not looking at how much I'm up. I'm not looking at how much I'm down, because, how much I'm up or how much I'm down has nothing to do with what I'm trading. So we're really just trying to focus on making sure that when I take a position, I'm investing in something that's uptrending, and when I sell a position, that it's because it's a sell. So I went in, I didn't get in at the best time. That was my fault, and I got in a little bit too early, but that's okay because now I got out. And I just need to give it a little bit more time for it to reverse. So I need to focus on better entry points next time. All right, yeah, there's a lot of people that are saying that it's lagging. A nice little push up.
Right after you sold?
Yep, right after
I
sold, right? Yep.
See, it's
Okay, so it's showing a lag for only some people. You guys are gonna have to like bear with me. There's absolutely like nothing that I can do. Okay, I wanted to dedicate the rest of it. So you guys saw like what I did there, right? I took a position. I took it before the confirmation of the EMA line. I knew that. I took it really early, right, in the reversal. So it sold off very aggressively. I took it very early in the reversal. The MACD was in my favor. The RSI was in my favor. The margin of profit in my eyes were worth it. There's a reason behind on why I took it. Now, it pushed up, got rejected by the EMA line, and began to consolidate. It consolidated so much that the MACD fully completed its like little cycle, right? So it went up and then it started to downtrend. And there's a reason on why, based off of how it's trending, there's a reason on why it can continue to downtrend. So there's a reason that I should probably either just cut losses or just sell it, like solely based off of the idea that, again, it's showing signs of a potential downtrend and it's not in my favor. So because of that, that's why I decided to cut losses on that one so quick. I don't even know if it was cutting losses. I'm pretty sure I bought in at 27.33 if I'm not mistaken, or 27.30, not too sure. So I probably lost like 3 cents per share. Again, my position size was only 200 shares, so pretty small. So I think you guys are talking about like if I sold with a limit order or a market order. I saw the bid or the spread right between the ask and the bid, and it was 2 cents. So the bid was at 27.29 and the ask was at 27.31. I didn't care enough for the extra 1 or 2 cents, so I did sell it at market order because all I wanted to ensure is that I got out right away. I could have sold with a limit order at the bid, which means that I could have sold at exactly 27.29. if that mattered that much. I didn't see it moving too much. The spread wasn't too crazy. And by spread, I mean the distance and the difference between the bid and the ask. Sometimes you'll see that the bid is at like $27 and the ask will be at like $27.50. And the spread is huge where it actually does make a difference. That's the only reason that I decided to, not care too much about my limit or market order. Did he present his sell price? Yeah, I mean, you guys are literally watching me trade. I don't get that question. All right. So if there's any open-ended questions that I can answer for you guys, feel free to let me know, and then we'll kind of go from there. It doesn't look like as of right now it's consolidating enough, so we can break down stocks that maybe you guys see value and answer some open-ended questions. So some of you guys are saying to break down Tesla. 302. So what do you guys, I mean, you guys are all pretty smart people, right? So what do you see here, right? SMA line is pointing down. It pushed up, broke above the EMA line here, consolidated. We talked about this. It pushed up, got rejected by the SMA line. EMA line is now pointing down. SMA line is now pointing down. No indication of a reversal, no indication of a support yet. Yes, it might bounce at 300. Yes, it might bounce at 280. Yes, it might bounce at 250. But we have no confirmation or inclination of a reversal. So still downtrending. Doesn't make sense for this thing to reverse. I could set my alerts and we could simply follow up with it. Again, it's Friday. Don't force it. Don't stress it. There's no reason to aggressively approach it. TVIX, all right, let's check it out. It looks like it is trying to reverse just like it's done it before. But again, the multiple times that it's tried to do this, the MACD and all that stuff become very overbought, very overextended, kind of like where it's at right now. So just a little heads up on that. The progression at the rate that it was pushing up kind of slowed down and it hit somewhat of a resistance right around $40. MACD looks a little bit overextended, and so does the RSI. So I think that it could pull back and the MACD will go through its full reversal before it continues to uptrend. I like that. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that you are enjoying that, Craig. Appreciate that, Landon. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, I just got a haircut, Christian. I got a haircut like last week or something like that. Can you look at INVA, my vision? Okay. Yeah, it's showing signs of a potential reversal, but the patterns aren't following. So any indicator, I mean, the RSI is also showing that it's super oversold. The MACD is showing signs of a potential reversal. It doesn't matter what the indicators are doing when the pattern doesn't follow. So as of right now, the EMA line is still pointing down. So yes, you're talking about some of the pros, but also talk about the cons. It's below the SMA line, it's below the EMA line, it's downtrending, it's making lower lows, it's making lower highs as well. And there's a lot more reasons on why I wouldn't buy this than why I would. Yes, the margin of profit might be worth it, but again, that's why we can set our alerts and simply wait for the reversal if it ever does end up happening. CROX, what's going on, Buddha? I like this. Okay, so this one's actually one that we follow pretty often. So it's a very consistent uptrend pattern. It validates the SMA line as a support based off of previous patterns. It doesn't mean that it has to, but you can see that it did it here. What did it do last time that we can kind of look out for potential reversal? It sold off, it consolidated very little, and then it pushed above the EMA line, right? And then it began to show signs of an uptrend. So we could wait for the same thing here and simply set our alerts. So this could be something that I would potentially consider to swing trade because the margin of profit could be worth it, right? Based off of previous resistance. It's a continuous uptrend pattern and it's a good company. This is Crocs, like the little shoe company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's check that out, JNug. So I'll cover /GC, and then you could make, you could kind of get my insight from that. So as of right now, there's two things. Yes, /GC is uptrending, but at where it's at right now, do you see this progression of it making like lower lows and lower highs? Right? So it might have broken it and it can continue to uptrend, but let's just wait out for it. So either we're going to see a break above this resistance of, 1320, and we'll see higher highs being formed, or we'll see a break below the EMA line and then continue to downtrend, which will then be in favor of JDST. So if it breaks above the EMA line, it'll probably be in favor of JNUG. If it breaks below the EMA line and 1310, then it'll be in favor of JDST. Super happy to hear that, Anthony. GCI. Showing signs of a resistance, looks very overbought. Yes, the MACD, is showing that it's attractive, but there's again more reasons on why I wouldn't buy this than why I would. Super overbought, super overextended, and stuff like that. So looks like natural gas is starting to reverse. I like that. So I like this, but look at the MACD. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I decide to get back in. I'll be a little bit more selective now. They're not exact. So we've talked about that multiple times. /GC doesn't indicate JNUG and JDST's exact direction. XXII, let's check that out. Okay, this is going to be the last breakdown. A lot of consolidation. I would wait for it to actually indicate signs of an uptrend because it's not doing any of that right now. So looking at kind of this pattern, I would identify the low points, which is around 220, and the high points around 280. It's consolidating, so it's no longer selling off, which is good, but it's not actively pushing up, right? So we would like to catch it when it's actively pushing up, just like it was doing it here and doing it here. Again, we want to be a part of it when the action is happening. Oh, yeah, it's pushing up now, so it's back at 2750. That's good. All right. I want to see if you guys have one open-ended question, not a breakdown anymore. Where are we at? We're about 27 minutes on this live stream. I think the other live stream was about like 10 minutes. Pulling back at 2750. Hey, what's going on? It's real nice for you to join us. Are you getting back into UGAS? If the pattern, corrects itself, then yeah. But I just feel like because the MACD is so not in favor of UGAS right now, yes, it is pushing up, but it's already overextended, and so is the RSI. I think it has potential to push up to maybe the middle VWAP. The margin of profit isn't worth it for me as of right now, based on the current price point. And then I think it's going to hit that or the SMA line and then continue to downtrend. So I'll probably just take a position on DGAS. I'm just trying to give it more time for it to identify its direction. We've talked about this multiple times. There's a lot of traders within our group that won't trade for the first 1 or 2 hours until the direction of UGAS or DGAS is clear or whatever it is that they're trading. And then they'll just go with the flow. If something is uptrending, then they'll go with that one. When you're paper trading, you should still treat it like if you're trading with real money. So should you trade more than, if you were or were not under the PDT rule, you should still trade it or treat it as if it was real money. So you just have to be realistic with yourself. If you're not going to start trading with over $25,000, then you probably should not trade more than 3 times within a 5-day period, right? I think one of the biggest things that we try to focus on within our group is consistency, quality trades, and just the reassurance that you understand what it is that you are trading. And if you don't have that, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to learn from your mistakes, because if you don't understand what you did wrong, then how can you learn from it? So as long as there's a reason behind everything that you do, regardless if it's right or wrong, paper trading is the time that you should be empowered to make mistakes. What mistakes do you see people make when using indicators? That they think that they could solely rely off of indicators to trade. Not one indicator is going to be perfect or exact. It's all about like patterns, directions, and even then, it's not going to be perfect. So just having a series of different things to not rely on, but to use as indications. Indicators are to be used as indications of what you should or should not probably invest in. Doesn't mean that it's fact, right? Can you buy it 3 times and sell 3 times? That's a day trade. Buying and selling, so all within the same date. That's one day trade. So you could do 3 of those. What are your hotkeys for trading? If you look at the Learn Plan Profit lesson library, it shows we're getting a lot of questions that are like covered in the course. I'm not too sure why. I was second guessing myself if I opened up the stream to like a bunch of people that are not in the course. We're getting so many questions of like hotkeys and like not necessarily the indicators, but asking about like my EMA line and the different things that I have set up. I just want to remind you, we have the course, and if you have not completed the course, then I would encourage you to complete the course before, getting started. That's the easiest way for me to put it. So natural gas is definitely pushing up as of right now. It's at 27.62, so it's about 30 cents more than where I bought it at. There we go. Alrighty. No, you're good. Kevin. So for the hotkeys, again, I do have a section that's solely based for hotkeys. But we're going to close out the live stream here. And it looks like natural gas had a really nice push up. It's touching that middle view up now. And RSI super overextended. So it's following pretty true to like what we were saying. So I'm going to see if it's overextended enough that it gets rejected. And if it does, then guess what? What are we going to do? What would we do? If natural gas touches that middle view up and becomes super overextended, what would make sense? Would I still want to continue to trade natural gas or you guys? Probably not, right? Because it's not a good deal anymore. The margin of profit probably isn't, there's not going to be much left. It would make more sense to maybe look at the inverse ETF, which is DGAS, as that is then most likely going to reverse. So, and it's looking like, DGAS time. You guys know how we do things, right? But again, we just have to wait for confirmation and all that good stuff. So thank you guys again so much for your time. I hope you guys learned something new in this video. I feel like I did less trading and more answering questions. And I think that was like the first time this week that I did that. So hope that this video was a little bit more informative. I do appreciate for the lag. Again, it's not really in my control. I'll try my best to make sure that we don't lag next time. But I wish you guys an amazing rest of your Friday. They're saying smile, guys. Wish you guys an amazing rest of your Friday. Continue working hard, continue following dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. Make someone smile today, learn something new, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.